Hey, what's up? It's Colleen here. My video today is really this really interesting question, this hard question of, I want to be authentic, but what if I'm angry? Should I be authentic then? It's wrong to have anger. Like, I don't want to be mean. So I want to address that question and a couple myths, I guess, 3 myths around that. Because if you're anything, I hear from my clients all the time, like how they feel really bad because they're so angry, or they are so frustrated with like the people they're working with or collabing with, or maybe some family members interrupting them while they're doing something important to them, and yet they don't want to be mean, right? Like they don't want to tell their mom, no, I'm sorry, I can't talk right now, because she's calling and you haven't talked to her and maybe you feel guilty. For me, God, I'm going through a liver cleanse right now. It's day 6 out of 9, and a lot of that heat is building up and releasing. But I have just been feeling so hot and angry, and it can all be for good reasons, which we're gonna talk about a little. But I always personally had this question, like, my value is around being authentic, and for me, showing up for my purpose and doing my work in the world, but in a way of integrity. And like the inside matching that outside. That's alignment to me. That's integrity. And so I remember just having this really hard debacle of, but what if I'm angry? Like, should I still be authentic? So that, and that would be expressing the anger, or is it, is it wrong to have anger? But I know it's not fully wrong. So what's the in between? And that's what I want to talk about today, because I feel I have an answer for you. So I'm Colleen Coles. I'm a purpose alignment coach and energy healer, spiritual teacher, mentor, and you can check out, I have a workshop. I just want to say a really awesome workshop that goes in more deeply of what we're covering today. So if you want more, that workshop recording, it's an 8. There we go. Got a phone call from my sis. I said decline for now, which we'll go over in a sec. Okay. Anyway. The Be You Stand True workshop is a all-inclusive workshop. It was an all-day workshop that I recorded live, and it's there for you to learn what we're going to talk about more today in a deeper way, so that you can live your purpose, take aligned action, and get your relationships straight so they support you rather than drain your energy. So you really have a balanced life to live. So that's 60% off this weekend. So go ahead and check the link in my bio or below to check that out if you're interested in more of what we're talking today. Okay, good. So, as part of my work as a healer, I have undergone somatic experiencing. And so I've taken my experience with that, and I want to bring it to you today. So basically, somatic experiencing talks about the body and looks at our experience of life through the nervous system. So here is what in somatic experiencing we would call the window of tolerance. So this is kind of our experience all day, every day through life, where the middle is kind of a regulated place of nervous system. The high here is when we get angry or agitated and into that fight or flight mode, and then the bottom is a dorsal state where we go into freeze mode, or like numbing, or it can look like a lot of different things. That freeze though, and also like fawning, like, oh, it's fine, oh yeah, no, it's okay. That's fawning, and that's down here. So I have a lot of people that come to me who are maybe successful on the outside, but like their personal life feels like it's falling apart. And when we start to actually do work together, a lot of it starts to revolve around like, how do I feel like everything's kind of out of my control, like things are happening around me, like, but I have to say yes, or I don't know what to do. A lot of it stems around boundaries, okay? So boundaries can be hard, but what happens when we don't have boundaries in place, meaning we stand up for ourselves to protect ourselves and what we need and want and make space for that and for ourselves, worthy of that, it can feel like everything's coming at you, or you're like resentful because, maybe you're helping other people that you love, but now you're not getting paid for it. ouch, those types of things. And when those things happen, anger happens, okay? All anger is a way to protect yourself. Every emotion on the spectrum is authentic, okay? So when I look at this spectrum here, and even if you want to look at it in a spiritual way, it's the color of the rainbow. You wouldn't judge the color red, right? You wouldn't judge the color red, it's just another color. However, where it gets a little out of control is when it overcomes us, and as Eckhart Tolle would say, it is when we identify with the pain body. Okay, so for example, if I were to be bitten by a mosquito right now, anyway, and then all of a sudden histamine starts running through my body and I'm starting to feel agitated. I'm going up, 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 up on this wave, okay? Now, if I pass over whatever and wherever this is, that's going into fight or flight, right? That's when you crack. That's when you snap. You're like, fuck them, I'm moving, or like, I'm leaving, or like, God, and it takes over you. That can be a natural response. We're animals, right? We're trying to fight and fly away. However, as Eckhart would say, when we identify with it and allow that pain body to become who we are, that's when we regret what we say later. That's when you might make a dent in your child's development because of how you got angry. And that's okay. We can, in the workshop I talk more about how to mend when we go out of this, okay? Out of alignment, really. So, similarly, now, where was I? Similarly, what we want to do is allow ourselves to see this happening, but not necessarily identify with it or who we are. We want to notice when we're out of threshold so we can make a different choice, okay? So the pain body, that's when it comes into us. That's when like the anger is us. However, back to the mosquito, if I got bit by a mosquito, but then I thought and go to my husband and think he's just the douchiest guy and I am identifying with the anger, and it's really just a color that I'm holding, right? Honestly. Or even more physically, the histamine in my body from a mosquito is making me feel hot and agitated. It has nothing to do with my husband, right? And so that's just the bigger picture of anger and the pain body and why it can come into us, but we don't even have to judge it. We do need to, though, take responsibility for when it overcomes us, because we let it overcome our space, okay? So, second point, number 2, anger is a protection, okay? We feel anger when we feel a boundary of ours, even if we haven't expressed it, has been crossed. And so it's our attempt, especially when it's not heard, to protect ourselves, okay? So like just yesterday working with a client, we looked at what she was resentful of, what she was angry, and actually looked, okay, what can you do to make those right for you and have a boundary in place so that you don't overcompensate. That anger lion is coming out to protect its young, which is you and your soul, because you deserve it, okay? So the way that we get back into alignment is by noticing and honoring the anger, not letting it become us, but we have to take steps to put a boundary around whatever that circumstance is so that we can not get angry anymore, that we can be protected, so that then it's in alignment. Like, don't get mad at the anger, start to make a shift towards what is causing the anger. Go to the root and then fix that. Say, okay, no, I'm going to bed by 9 p.m., so you need to turn the TV off by 8:45, period, right? Like, that's a boundary. So that's kind of the second point. Do not judge anger, you're wasting your time. Actually go to the root and look at what is causing that and have a boundary around it, because when you can honestly look, just like in my energy work, all these blocks we feel or patterns we're in, they are so frustrating, and yet when I look at them and we go into them, it's just wanting to say something to you. It just wants to say something like, yo dude, remember that experience in 5th grade when you were made fun of? Yeah, it's running your life and you're not hearing it, right? And so if you just look at me, you can love me and then I can go away, That's really the process, y'all. That's it. And so when you look at it, instead of judging it, it can leave you. It can escape, okay? Okay, okay, so I said that. Now, what about this question? So that's number 1, number 2, and now number 3. What do we do when we're feeling angry, but we want to be authentic? That was my big one for so long. I was like, but I want to be authentic, like, and I'm feeling mad. Like, I should be mad at them. Okay, so what I realized today while I was like brushing my teeth or washing my hands or something today was, let me put it this way to like my old self / you right now, if you have the same question. If the question is like, but I want to be authentic, this is the thing I want to say. It's like, well, really, this whole spectrum is authentic, if you want to look at it that way. Like, your space is authentic. So not just anger in which you're holding right now, like, ooh, it's a hot potato, I'm holding anger, it's in my body, I feel agitated. That's part of you, but it's not all of you. The whole picture is all of you. That's authentic. So, like, the way I started thinking about it was, anywhere where I'm at in this, right, could be called authentic because it's literally happening. It's literally happening to you. Now, this is what I'd recommend, okay? So here's the big takeaway is, say something happens, somebody crosses your boundary, or you flip, right? Like you can't take it anymore. You're here. If you were being authentic here, you would scream at somebody and you could hurt somebody and you maybe regret it later. Even if that's what happens, that's okay. You're human and you're an animal, and like let it be and like come back later. And that's something, again, we're covering in the live call and the Be You Stand True workshop happening. That's only on sale this weekend. So check it out if you want more on this stuff, because it's really helpful. I think it's necessary for every human soul. Okay, if you want to live with purpose and have great relationships, let me do it. Not alone. Okay, now, this is what I want you to take home today, y'all, is that when you're up here, yes, you could consider yourself authentic, but that's going to hurt people. And so this is what I'm saying. Allow yourself to come back down. Do what you need to find your own protection and click out of that pain body. Disconnect. Meaning, I just ate an apple because I was feeling upset and inspired to make this. I ate an apple. It cooled my nervous system down. It cooled my pitta energy, my fire, if you're familiar with Ayurveda. Go for a walk, disengage, have some space, wash your hands, go to the bathroom, move your body. Okay, that's what I mean. Now, when you start to notice yourself, what's called regulate, and be back in the middle, like, oh, okay, I'm just chilling. Then, when you're ready, set the boundary up. Does that make sense? Then go and have the conversation to say, look, that was rude, I'm not accepting it, we need to come up with a better solution, period. Or, clean up your mess, or whatever it is that was angry, go and fix it when you're here, or really go out, express it, because that's the authentic part, right? Go express it, right? So if your mom called you and you're really mad, instead of on the call, like, I can't talk right now, or simply just don't answer it. That's step number 1, right? Boundary, okay? Step number 2 is to remember anger is there to protect you. So don't even engage, or if you do, get into the real protection. Real protection. Don't make anger be the puppy that's trying to protect you and it just goes growling and angry, okay? So once you do that and you respect your anger and you disengage with what's making you angry, step number 3 is let yourself come down. There's lots of different ways to do that. I already mentioned some, okay? Eating, space, moving your body, particularly expression, and then go have the conversation or be authentic, okay? That's the stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this live in this video. Let me know what main questions you have or how you feel you'll apply this to your life. Thank you so much for watching. This is my soul's work. I am so happy to share it with you. And when you do this, everything starts to feel like it can flow again, and that you have control over your life, and that you're also not just respecting and helping and healing other people, but that you're protecting and filling your cup up first, right? We know when we're not. So this is a way to get into alignment. Let me know in the comments, again, your major question or major takeaway. And I hope to see you at the Meow Stand True workshop. Again, that is open right now for enrollment for a limited time. Go check it out if you're curious to know more. One-on-one work is always available, so just DM me if you're curious more about my one-on-one work. All right, y'all, have a great day, and I think that's it. Lots of love.